Welcome back to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. This is round 3. We are with the Renault RS01 at Laguna Seca. This is race 2 after you saw probably a great replay for race 1 with Diogo Silva, or was it Darren Head winning? I can't really remember who won race 1. I believe it was Diogo Silva. Now I'm remembering that he did win the race in race 1. Now going through the starting grid for race 2, and for some reason we are not seeing the images of the cars, but Dale Taylor is with an excellent pole position, followed by Darren Head. Second row for Jorge Jesus and Diogo Almeida, an all Portuguese second row. Simon and Kev Allen are on the third row and all Allen row. Peter Adrian and Scott Davley on the fourth. John Scott and Diogo Silva, the winner of race 1, having troubles in qualifying. He started from dead last. Where can he get in the race? Let's find out in another exciting Old Folks Racing replay, as we are going to go track side with pole position man Dale Taylor, and it is go go go. What a start by Dale Taylor. Darren Head also keeps the position, but here comes Diogo Almeida again, the fast starting Portuguese, managing to go into second place. Yes, he does. He goes into second place, and so far so good for everyone in the first few corners. Diogo Almeida is into second place, followed by Darren Head and Jorge Jesus on board with Darren Head now. This is Jorge Jesus in fourth, Simon Allen in fifth, Kev Allen is in sixth place. They all maintain their positions. Diogo Silva is up to 8 already. He managed to overtake John Scott and Scott Davley. We have a 15 lap race here, and Dale Taylor is already a few car lengths ahead of everyone else into the corkscrew for the first time. That number 19 is looking absolutely brilliant in the lead of the race, as they now go on board, which is something we didn't want to go. We wanted to go trackside. Yes, there you go. Diogo Almeida is not far behind Dale, and actually we might have, look at that, Diogo Almeida very wide there in the penultimate corner, and Dale Taylor is going to lead the opening lap of this race, and it is 1 out of 15 with Dale Taylor leading, following Diogo Almeida. Third is Darren Head, and Darren Head is starting to put some pressure on Diogo Almeida with that number 10. Look at that, also putting pressure on that board that he just knocked out. Jorge Jesus in fifth. Diogo Silva is already up into sixth place, so he is recovering quite nicely. He overtook Peter Adrian as well, as something happened to Kev Allen. And that something was a drive through. Kev Allen, he didn't have the greatest of starts, but unfortunately he also jumped the start, and the race director is very, very stringent with this particular behavior, and so Kev Allen is now dead last, and not only that, he's more than 10 seconds away from penultimate position, which is currently John Scott in 9th. Dale Taylor is leading this race. Let's look at the battle for second place, and we have Darren Head in a Portuguese sandwich right now, is between two cars that have the same livery, with Jorge Jesus in fourth and Diogo Almeida in second, and Darren is close but not close enough to make a move, as they now go through the second lap. And behind these drivers we've got Simon Allen, and behind him we've got Diogo Silva, who started from 10th, is up into 6th already. And Diogo Almeida almost losing it there. Jorge Jesus also putting pressure on Darren Head. But so far so good. No major incidents that we have seen on track, which is always quite a good thing to see. Look at that. Jorge Jesus is really after Darren Head now. So Darren must have made a mistake somewhere. The championship leader is under pressure from Jorge Jesus, who had not the greatest race in race 1. Hoping for better things now in the second race of the round 3, and now in the corkscrew, very close to Darren, but no chance there for an overtake. And behind we have Samanao, that's that blue livery, and Diogo Silva in the yellow. Look at that, they're very close to one another, but what a lead that Dale Taylor have already. 3 seconds is Dale Taylor's lead as they go and complete another lap. Oh, and something happened to Dale Taylor. Something happened to Dale Taylor. What happened to Dale Taylor? Oh, he's got a drive-through as well. We couldn't figure that one out from the leaderboard, but it was indeed a very good start. It was one of those things that was too good to be true. And now Diogo Almeida is the new leader of the race now at the end of lap 3. Diogo Almeida leading a race for the first time this season. And then head up to second, obviously, with Jorge Jesus in third, 40 Simon Allen, Diogo Silva up to fifth. Where is Dale Taylor? Well, he's in 9th place. He managed to... Oh, and Diogo Almeida spins. Diogo Almeida spins, the leader. The leader spins and he gets overtaken by pretty much everyone in that group. He drops to 5th place. Darren Head is the new leader, and the pressure from Jorge Jesus. 3rd is Simon Allen, 4th is Diogo Silva, and 5th is now Diogo Almeida, still in this leading pack. Let's have a look at other drivers. We haven't seen a lot of the other drivers. Peter Adrian doing a good job in 6th in that number 25 purple car. 7th is Scott Davely. 8th is John Scott. And 9th and 10th are Dale Taylor and Kev Allen. Now Dale Taylor has very good pace indeed, and I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a very fast recovery. But look at that, that's the battle for the lead now. Let's have a look at this battle for the lead. That number 10 is under serious pressure from Jorge Jesus, and could he make a move here in turn 1? He certainly thought about it, but there is no chance whatsoever, because Darren is covering his line perfectly as they are on lap 5 already. Now let's have a look at... Oh, and Darren makes a mistake there, slides the car very so slightly. And look at that, Jorge is now in the gravel as well. Behind these drivers, there's Simon Allen. Diogo Silva is under pressure from a recovering Diogo Almeida. So plenty of action here. John Scott has gone ahead of... something happened with Peter Adrian, and we are going to find out what it was. And it was unaided there through the curb and then into the barrier. John Scott up to 7, Dale Taylor up to 8. Battle for the lead now. Darren had managed to open a few car lengths of a gap, at least some breathing space. Simon Allen, look at that. These three are absolutely at it now, with Simon Allen in the blue car at the front of this pack in 3rd place. That number 11. Number 2 is Diogo Silva in the traditional yellow livery of the Renault RS01, and then is Diogo Almeida as well, trying to recover. Let's have a quick look at the gaps at the front. It is under a second, but it has increased ever so slightly to 0.8 of a second. There is Diogo. Oh, look at that, Diogo Almeida almost hitting the back of Diogo Silva. Different braking points there through turn 1. Let's have a quick look at the rest of the leaderboard, see if there are any emerging battles. These top 5 then have a 6-second lead over Scott Davely, and then John Scott and the recovering Dale Taylor. The two leaders are ahead of this pack. Let's have a look at Dale. Where is he? Let's try to follow him a little bit. He's coming behind John Scott in that other yellow Renault. And then look at that, trying very hard indeed. He's going very quick. But let's have a quick look at... well, Dell certainly looks like he can attack these two drivers in front of him. He's done a 120.4. Only the leader and second place man Jorge Jesus are faster. And he's coming after John Scott's life big time now at the last corner. Let's see if he gets a good exit. Maybe he can try an overtake into turn 1. And he does. And that was a little bit too easy for Delta. Delta up to 7th. Next man is Scott Davely. Let's go back to the battle for... Oh, look at that, the battle for... The lead is now absolutely nose to tail there. And here comes Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus is the new leader. Jorge Jesus is the third leader. Oh, look at that. Oh, and look at that. That was... oh, and Jorge is off the track as well. All over the place there. Here comes Darren Head again. But let's have a quick look at the replay of what happened here. Maybe from Darren's perspective. And I don't know what Darren did to lose that lead. I think it's just... No, Darren comes here and he's going to... Oh, he just ran a little bit wide there, Darren. And here comes Jorge Jesus. He's going to... And oh, look at that. Then they tangled a little bit. Jorge is on the inside. And then, of course, Renault is out of room. And here comes Darren Head now. Let's go trackside again. Jorge Jesus is the new leader, and he's going to try to lead the lap. Look at these three; they are absolutely at it as well. Del Taylor has overtaken Scott Davely. We are going to get a replay very shortly of that. And that was a good move there, good exit and into the corkscrew. He's on the outside, but he's already ahead of Scott and moves up into sixth place. I'm sorry. Fifth is Diogo Almeida. Fourth is of course Diogo Silva, and third. Oh, look at that! Jorge Jesus has ran wide and lost time in the last corner. He's now going to go defensive on the inside, and he's trying to cover his line. We are on lap 8 out of 15. This is absolutely brilliant stuff. Brilliant battle for the lead. Now a little bit of a switcheroo, but Darren Head didn't quite manage to overtake Jorge. And Diogo Silva is under severe pressure. We've seen that from Diogo Almeida. That number 2 car under pressure for the two Diogos running together. Battle for the lead again. Jorge Jesus on lap 8 becomes the third leader of this race. Del Taylor led, Diogo Almeida led. Then it was Darren Head, and now it's Jorge Jesus. 4 leaders in 8 laps. That's pretty competitive, if you ask me. Jorge is trying to open the gap, trying to get his first win of the season. Pretty impressive battle here for third place as well continues. And Del Taylor is the fastest man on the track, 1:19.615. He's only 5 seconds away from these 3 drivers, and we still have 6 laps to go. Darren Head has gone ahead of Jorge Jesus. We didn't see what happened. So, oh, it was Jorge in the last corner. Jorge just ran, oh, just a half speed in oh, almost. Then almost nowhere to go there, but recovers the lead and crosses the line already as the new leader. Darren Head recovers the lead on lap 9. Jorge Jesus in second place, Simon Allen in third. We have also an emerging battle for 7th place between Scott Davely and John Scott. We are going to just quickly try to figure out how close or far away from each other they are. Well, they are close. but not that close that we would follow them. Allen has not really recovered that much. He did overtake Peter Adrian, who is now running 10th. Let's look at the battle for the lead here. Is almost a second gap, so the closest battle is now this battle for third spot. Oh, Diogo Almeida has run wide there. Diogo Almeida runs wide and loses a bit of time. Diogo Silva is now coming after Simon Allen with 5 laps to go. And these three have been like this since the opening lap of this race. So it is slightly tricky to overtake here at Laguna Seca with competitive drivers and this particular car. Oh, Simon Allen has made a mistake and is not trying to go defensive. Fortunately for him, Diogo Silva also made a mistake and is now under pressure from Diogo Almeida. The three crossed the line nose to tail. And Diogo is coming on the outside of Diogo, as it were. But no positions exchange at this point in time. And look at that, Dale Taylor, a 1:19.399. Jorge Jesus has made a mistake, and here comes Simon Allen. Simon Allen is... what on earth happened to Jorge Jesus? We're going to have to see the replay of that on lap 10. And it seems to me that he was recovering some ground to the leader. Oh, and he actually spun it. He had to press the reset button, and here come now the trio of drivers. Diogo Silva was trying to go on the inside, but unsuccessfully. Simon Allen is on the outside, and now the trio becomes a quartet. And I'll tell you who is going to be very happy with this. That is Dale Taylor, because these drivers are just losing a lot of time in this battle, and he's only 3 seconds behind. Oh, look at that, everyone running wide. Simon Allen running wide. Jorge Jesus also running slightly wide. Diogo Silva didn't benefit from that. He's under pressure again from Diogo Almeida. Look at this, Simon Allen almost not breaking himself there at the corkscrew, but survives to fight another day. Jorge Jesus gets a bit of breathing space. Simon Allen is... well, these guys have been at this continuously since the opening lap. Let's have a look at lap times, because I'm certain that the lap times of these 4 drivers are not going to be spectacular. Jorge Jesus a 1:24 with that spin. Simon Allen 1:23. Diogo Silva 1:22. Diogo Almeida 1:21.9. And look at that, Dale Taylor, the only driver on the 1:19. Look at this, Diogo Silva almost hitting the back of Simon Allen, and now he is defending big time from Diogo Almeida. And Dale Taylor is already in the picture as well. So, well, this quartet now has become a trio again, because Jorge Jesus has checked out, and I'll tell you who else has checked out is Darren Head in the lead of this race, lap 11 out of 15. And he is on his way to another victory, which would be the 4th victory of the season in 6 races. As we continue to see this battle here, but crucially Dale Taylor is already at the back of this pack, and Simon Allen is losing time to Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus is consolidating that second place. Simon Allen is losing time, but on the other hand, Diogo Silva does not seem to have a way to find to pass Simon Allen, unless now, for the first time, he is in a position that he's going to make potentially a move. And here comes Diogo Silva. Simon Allen almost contact there, and Diogo Silva all over the place into third one, but now he's going to go for the inside line, and they go side by side. Diogo Silva managed to overtake Simon Allen, a bit forceful, but still a correct maneuver and driving by both drivers. And Diogo Silva is up to third. And oh, and something has happened to Diogo Almeida. We haven't quite seen what it was, but he lost an enormous amount of time, because he is and we're going to have to rewind this a little bit. Oh, he's off at the corkscrew, and well, he's off big time. He's off big time at the corkscrew, and now he's defending from Well, he is defending from Scott Davely and John Scott, with Kev Allen not that far behind. So this is the battle now for 6th place. And what happened to Diogo Almeida? He briefly led this race in the early stages, but now has just faded back into the midfield. And Scott Davely is actually very close to making a move. Let's go back to the leading guys and look at that. Dale Taylor is in the gravel, but he is within striking distance of Simon Allen and Diogo Silva. The battle for the podium is not over, because the South African driver does have a lot of pace with this combo. Let's look at the leader, Darren Head. He is 4 seconds ahead of everyone else. Jorge Jesus now in 2nd place, and a couple of seconds ahead of Diogo Silva. Simon Allen in 4th, and Diogo Silva also has checked out a little bit from Simon. Dale Taylor is actually up to 4th. So there was a move, and that was when Simon Allen running wide there and losing time, and here comes Dale Taylor into 4th place. And remember, Dale Taylor has had a drive-through penalty and is already back with the leaders. Amazing pace for Dale Taylor. Now he's got 3 laps to try to get that podium. And of course penalties could still change this. We do not know who has which penalties, but let's see what the last 3 laps of this race are going to give us. Simon Allen also fading back. He is now in 5th place after running 3rd for such a long time. 4.5 seconds is the lead at the front. Let's see if there are any developments in the battle for 6th place. There aren't, and the only development is that Diogo Almeida has managed to open a gap. Scott Davely defending from John Scott. Let's have a look at this battle, which has been going on for the last few laps. Kev Allen still in 9th place. Of course, the pace of these drivers is very similar. If you look at the leaderboard, 120, 121, 122, there isn't a huge opportunity to gain a lot of time. Peter Adrian is in 10th spot, but he is 8 seconds behind Kev, and that's probably a little bit too much to recover in the last 2 laps, as the leader is about to complete another lap. 2 laps to go right now, and Darren Head has 4.3 seconds from Jorge Jesus. Diogo Silva in 3rd place, but not really getting closer to Jorge. And here comes Dale Taylor, driver of the day surely. After that drive-through, he's now in 4th place. And a couple of laps to go to see what he's able to do. Let's have a look at close battles. I don't think we have any on the track right now. Diogo Almeida has checked out from Scott Davely, and Scott himself has checked out a little bit from John Scott. Kev Allen in 9th and Peter Adrian in 10th are running on their own, as the leader is now in the corkscrew for the penultimate time. And 1 more lap to go. Jorge Jesus is coming at him. He's reducing the gap now, 3.7 seconds, but look at that, the battle is definitely there. And that is Dale Taylor trying to get the podium out of this. And look at that, Dale Taylor absolutely magnanimous there, trying to get closer to Diogo Silva, trying to get a run into turn 1 probably. Last lap already for the leader, and Dale Taylor is coming at Diogo Silva now. How will the Portuguese driver defend from this? Into turn 1 they go, and will Dale Taylor make a move? I don't think he's close enough. No, he's not. But look at that, absolutely brilliant driving there. Simon Allen faded back to 5th place. 6th is Diogo Almeida. 7th is John Scott. 7 is Scott Davis, sorry, 8 is John Scott. Let's see if any more developments in the last couple of corners. Darren Head is a few corners away from victory here, but Diogo Silva also a good recovery from 10th to 3rd. But this is on the road and there will be penalties, we understand. Look at that, Del Taylor coming at him in the corkscrew. Look at almost contact there between the two drivers, but Diogo Silva is just hanging on by the tiniest of margins. Here comes Darren Head, but we are going to see with Diogo Silva and Del Taylor if any developments. Look at that, Del Taylor. Oh, Del Taylor into the gravel there. What on earth happened there with Del Taylor? Let's go on board and try to look at that. Del Taylor, was he trying to overtake or did he just lose it? Well, he was just trying to... Oh, and something happened there. Jorge Jesus appeared all out of nowhere. Darren Head is going to win the race. Second is going to be Jorge Jesus. Third is going to be Diogo Silva. Fourth is going to be Dale Taylor. And fifth is going to be Simon Allen. Sixth is going to be Diogo Almeida. Seventh is going to be Scott Davley. Eighth is going to be John Scott. Ninth is going to be Kev Allen. And Peter Adrian is coming to complete the race as well. Now we do understand that at least Dale Taylor has gone into 3rd place because of penalties. Diogo Silva down to 4th. And maybe other changes have happened, but one change that did not happen is that Darren Head won this race. It has been a pleasure covering this round 3 race 2 for the Lamarina channel, and we do hope to see you very, very soon indeed. That's all for now. See you soon.